Sending Memories, it's a project that I started in 2017. It started initially as drawings, sketches, so I have all my notebook full of all these sketches. There was a moment that I started thinking, what if I could build this? Initially in the scales that I thought this would be extremely large scale, so obviously the production of some of these structures were entirely impossible. So I thought, what if I could photograph them? What if I could create a parallel reality where I would photograph all these structures? I started reaching out to colleagues, architects, designers, engineers, and this was my basic question. If I were to build this drawing, what would be structurally possible? There was also the reference that I always had in my mind, as if I were photographing the backstage of a scenario. With that idea in mind, we started creating insane projects with an unbelievable amount of details. As that line of work started developing, on the other hand, I would go out and scout for the possible locations where I would install these possible structures. And that brought me initially to different parts of my country, of Cuba, and eventually to different places worldwide. Increasingly, the type of location that I wanted, and ultimately the one that I ended up capturing in my photographs, have an ambiguous quality, as it doesn't pinpoint an exact location. I never get to see the full image while I'm shooting at it, but later when I'm working and stitching them together in post-production. So once I have the computer-generated content and the photograph, then it's the time where the whole post-production commences, where both elements are married to create a one hyper-realistic scenario. You're constantly looking at them from behind. The photograph enhances the attention towards the structure that supports such a construct, but we are always left with the question, what do they say from that other side we don't get to see in these photographs? What's their purpose? The level of realism I achieved in these images challenges the perception of the spectator. We are constantly, as an audience, left on the edge of believing if does this actually exist or not. That's a question that I like to leave the audience with. These photographs don't provide an answer, rather they place a group of questions, I think. We do know that it is a massive structure, so it must have taken a massive effort to build because of the scale, because of the amount of materials. So it's kind of an epic effort to have them built. But we do ignore the reason, what made the existence of these structures possible. I am more interested on those ideas. For me, symbolically, I think all of these structures, they stand for symbolic perspective. I think they are paradigms of the past, of social projects left unfinished. They took some massive efforts to install, but nevertheless, as we see these structures in the photograph, they are left almost abandoned, now suffering the passage of time. Some of them are affected, obviously. And I do think this is a comment that brings then the perception of these structures closer to my everyday reality. I'm Cuban, I live or work in Cuba. Perhaps this is my comment about our current situation as a country, as a social system, where we are left with these massive efforts to build something, but something that now, from where I'm standing and looking at them, I don't fully get to understand. I don't really know what was it all about.